Closed captioning provided by Beaufort County.
Good afternoon. I have a pleasure today to be with Steve Wilmot. Steve puts this tournament together. He's the president out here, and he's really a good guy. So let's start with him being a good guy first. Where did you come from, Steve?
Well, thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for having me today. But as I tell people, I'm a Southern Heart, being from South Jersey, exit 4 in the Jersey Turnpike, but Morristown, New Jersey. And I was born and raised up there, but this is truly home. I've been here since 1986.
What was the path from New Jersey to here?
Well, how much time do we have?
What did you need?
Actually, I ended up going to school in North Carolina, a small school in Greensboro, Guilford College, to play football. And after that first semester, I knew I didn't want to go back north in a way, and whether it was the Southern hospitality, the Southern bells, or the Southern way, and just one thing led to another, and I did move around for a few years, but I was hired by the Carolinas PGA section up in Myrtle Beach back in '86, and I did not have a background in golf, but I had a background in sports, having played high school sports and college football, and I worked in collegiate football as well as professional football. So one thing led to another, and I was up there, and an opportunity presented itself here in the summer of '86, and I thought I'd be here for 10 months, and it's been 37 years later.
And we hope it's 37 more to go.
Yeah. Well, I talk about it's been a little over 30 pounds, but that's another story. So
I hope
it's not another 30 pounds. But no, I've enjoyed it so much that as we've said too, the day you stop learning is the day you get out of the business, and I continue to learn each and every day, and I look forward to not necessarily another 30 pounds, but certainly not anytime soon.
Can you talk briefly about one of your greatest accomplishments is your intern projects? Now the interns, a lot of them stay for life here with you?
Oh, absolutely. I look at, we used to, yesteryear, there was a lot of times we looked at interns as strong backs and moving boxes around, but really the team that we have in place that goes through the internship program or interview process, we have skilled or interns that are interested in certain areas, whether it's sales, whether it's operations, whether it's charitable efforts, volunteer efforts. But we have Morgan Hyde, Andy McMillan, Kristen Brockman, Cindy Bruton. They were all interns with us at one time, along with Andy McMillan, and now they're full-time employees. And but I look as full-time family members and full-time teammates.
Well, it's a great tribute to you, keeping them all together through all these years, and it's because of you they stay, and that's what the story is.
Well, it's truly a team effort. I'm fortunate to be to do what I do, and as I mentioned, I don't have to do this. I get to do this, and I really enjoy it. But working with the town as we do, working with such partners, our volunteers, the staff, it's really a community event. It's a team effort, and we're all in it together. And the success is going to be happening here in a couple weeks in April, and if we're successful, then we're able to go ahead and give back and do what we want to do.
You spent a lot of time with the PGA.
Well, the last couple of years, I've been the tournament chairman of the TAC, which is the Tournament Advisory Council. So I've overseen all the tournaments on the PGA Tour. But the ironic thing with that is the last 2 years, we haven't really traveled that much either. So yes, I had in the past. I've been on a lot of different calls, as I was last night. And ironically, they're late in the day because it includes the West Coast tournaments too. But you always look at these other events from a more or less a best practice, what takeaways we might have from other events. We're all in unique marketplaces, unique venues, facilities and all too, but if there's something good that the Farmers does in San Diego and we take that idea here, just like someone taking it from here, it only helps the game, grows the game, and the support of the PGA Tour.
How good is your game now?
The weather's beautiful today, isn't it, Tom? Well, that's what I tell people. I live on Hilton-Head-Island. My golf stinks. My tennis is terrible, but I was playing some good basketball at a time. But I've had some. I've stopped that here recently. But no, I love to play. There's nothing I enjoy more than playing with my son, and it's. That's the only time I pray for slow play is when I'm playing with he. So it's 5 hours of undivided attention, and we get to have some fun together.
You always say that the town never says no to you on anything. And I must tell everybody that you never ask for an unreasonable request. So it's easy to work with you because nothing is unreasonable you ever ask for.
Well,
so we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. And again, it's a partnership. And I remember back a few years ago on a Friday that we had terrible weather, but I got a call from Steve Riley. I didn't have to call him. He called me going, "What do you need? What do you want?" Right. And that was coming from the town. And I have chill bumps sitting here thinking about it. This is our event. We're fortunate. Sure. We're blessed. This means so much, not to just this community in the Low Country, but certainly the state of South Carolina. And we're not competing with the NFL or Major League Baseball or the NFL or NBA. I mean, this is something truly unique. And again, if we're successful, we're able to do what we do. We're able to give back millions to this community, and then you take it a step further, and it's the economic impact of in excess of $100 million for the week of the tournament, and that's not a small drop in the bucket. So
this is the biggest event of the year for us. It's this, and then the concourse, and then a couple other shows. This is the biggest for us.
Well, and
it involves the whole community, which is important.
It does, and let's take it that other step. We're blessed. We know how this community gives back as it does. We have some incredible volunteers, and if we had to pay $1 an hour for what our volunteers do, we would give nothing to charity. But this community wants to volunteer. They want to give back. They want to help each other, and that's how it is. If I run into, if we're needing something from whether it's parking or working with Palman Electric, or we got an issue out on the golf course with some communication, you call Hargray, you get in front of Spectrum, and yes is the answer. What's the question is usually what I get.
And your volunteers are with you for a long time, most of them.
Yeah, very much so. But what's unique about it too is they don't just volunteer a week of the year. They're doing a lot of things for us leading up. They're helping us. Obviously facilitate, implement the program and execute the tournament, but they're retired, and most of them, which is great. They have the time, they have the commitment, they have the dedication, and they're months in advance. And every once in a while I'll have a volunteer come in and ask me for some advice, and next thing I know, they're a 4-star general. I'm going, I need to ask you for advice. And there are some wonderful people in this community. I'm blessed to be a part of it.
How does the selection of the players go for a tournament like this year?
Well, we're one of 4 invitational events on the PGA Tour, so we have a limited field compared to majority of the tournament. So you have the majors, and then you have the 4, and then there's a couple the Tour Championship and a couple other events. Then you have Memorial, Bay Hill, Colonial, and ourselves, and we're invitational. So it's basically the best players eligible to play get into our field, and we have an incredible field this year, and it's only getting stronger each and every day too, which is a compliment to the golf course here, a compliment to this community, the facilities. And Sea Pines, the resort's commitment to this event is special, and the Goodwins, what they have done to elevate the experience for the players, the spectators, the fans, with these facilities are tremendous.
The relationship with RBC and Blowing must be outstanding.
Very, very much so. I mean, I hate to think back of 2010 and 11 when we were trying to figure out the future, and it was tougher than people really thought as we did. But we have 2 great partners. RBC wouldn't be here without Boeing, and Boeing wouldn't be here without RBC, and they work very closely together. As you can tell, RBC's commitment to golf is tremendous. They have 2 events. They have an event, the RBC Canadian Open, but then they also have a whole group of ambassadors too, and support the tournament. But then Boeing, we work with Boeing International and Boeing Commercial, but we work very closely with Boeing South Carolina, and that's pretty big company here in
Yes, it
South
is.
Carolina, and great partner, and we have a year-round relationship with both of them, and which has been great for
Is
us.
it going to be an RBC Canada this year, or are they going to have to move again?
No, well, that's the unfortunate thing. You know, we could sit here and talk about what we just went through the last 2 years,
Sure.
but great question. The RBC Canadian Open has not played the last 2 years.
Right.
They haven't had, and they haven't even had television time. When we filled the dates in June of 20, that was the week of the RBC Canadian Open, so we got the airtime. And then in last year, in 21, the week of their tournament was the Palmetto Championship, which was in Congaree. So they didn't even get any replayer. So it's been a tough couple of years for them. But RBC, their executives, the commitment to the tournament this year, the excitement of people coming south of the border to get down here and be a part of this tournament is through the roof.
It'll be a nice feeling having the public back here this year.
And the excitement and the buzz is there, and it's from our partners. But then also you'd see, I just left the office and we had volunteers in here getting all excited. We have a big volunteer fest coming up here where we give our volunteers their uniforms. Plus it's a thank you. It's somewhat of a party all day as well too. But then from the standpoint of our spectators, our tickets we're going to announce the sellout here soon, and it will be a first for us. And but it's something that's we want to control the experience too. And in looking at the last couple of years, if you think about in 2019, that Saturday of 2019, we couldn't have gotten another person out on this golf course, and it wasn't necessarily a good thing. So in looking what happened in 20, which was unfortunate, and then 21 with the limited capacity, we're going to be less, but we're going to be better for the sake of the overall experience, from our concessions to not having the longer restroom lines and some other things. We're sensitive of those things. So.
For Hilton, it's not only a great golf event, it's a great social event for the community.
It's actually I just heard recently someone phrase it differently as a reunion. You know, it's something we used to talk about an adult spring break 15, 20 years ago, but it's a reunion. I mean, people coming together and getting together, and we have a unique venue, which is unique and it's different than many events on the PGA Tour because it's through a community. You have homes, you have villas, and you have this natural setting on the 18th of the Calabogie Sand in Harbor Town, and there's a new little restaurant that's being remodeled right now. Yeah. That's it is exciting, and that's Sea Pines is the resort's commitment back to this community, but also to the tournament as well.
Well, I thank you very much for what you do, and the community thanks you for what you do, and thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Mayor, thank you, and thank to your entire team too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If you have any ideas about future episodes of Town Talk or any questions you'd like answered online, please do not hesitate either emailing us or call us. You can email us at communications@hilton-head-island sc.gov.